version of She Steeps. My name is Shelley, and I am sitting with my friends at My Cup of Tea. Would you please introduce yourselves?
Yes, hi, good morning, Shelley. I'm Cheryl Henderson.
I'm L. Cool McLean.
And I'm Bretta Calhoun.
Great. Today's topic is about crime within the city of Memphis. And the first question that we're going to, I'd like to ask my friends today is, based on your experience, do you believe the city of Memphis has a crime problem? And if so, have you been affected personally?
Oh, yes, good morning again. Yes, I do believe Memphis has a crime problem, for sure. That's a definite, so for sure, definite. And my personal experience with it is a few years back, I would say maybe 6 to 8 years, I was vandalized at my home. I wasn't home, thank God, neither were my children. They were much younger then. But someone broke into my home, and I felt so violated. And it was random, I guess, but not really, because I found out that on my street, houses had been broken into on my street. So yes, it definitely is a problem in the city, and addressing it was addressed. They never found the person. They never could come up with who did it and why. But, I'm just, glad that we weren't home, and glad that it wasn't as worse as it could have been. But the only thing they took, which I knew was kids, was video games and video systems. So, wow.
Great. Cool.
Yes, crime is terrible, I believe to say. In my case, my car got stolen at the store down the street from My Cup of Tea, and I got carjacked for my suitcase at another gas station. And they caught the guy that did the stolen suitcase, but they never did catch anyone that stole my truck. But they found my truck for me.
Now, see.
The detective found it way in Mississippi.
Oh, wow.
Salt Lake, Mississippi.
Mm.
So I am grateful for getting it back, and got it back better than it was when they stole it. Had some new parts put on it.
Right.
So
Okay.
I'm blessed for that.
And see, I hate to always be the dissenting voice, but I would say no more than anywhere else, because I really feel that Memphis gets a bad, in the grade book, it gets a bad mark, or a failing mark. But I don't think that we're any more criminal than anywhere else. And then our possessions. So I don't think that we're just the crime capital. I just think that if people see an inward, an opportunity to take something, and they're so inclined, they do it.
So we have opportunists.
A lot of
Yes,
opportunities.
okay. So there are
I
a lot
had
of
a car
opportunities.
stolen too, but I also had a glass broken in the car.
Which allowed for access.
There you go.
Okay. Opportunity. Okay. Well, great perspective. The second question as a follow-up is, so what do you believe are the root causes, which besides opportunity, are there any other causes of crime within the city of Memphis?
Drugs.
She said drugs.
Drugs.
I think poverty
Yes.
and lack of education. Those are my main two. Poverty in this community, and surrounding communities, as she said, and surrounding cities and states also. That's a big problem. It's poverty, the poverty level,
And I feel
and
that
being educated.
I feel that the kids don't have anything to do. Like when we was coming up, we had skating rings. There was no gang activity. We had skating rings. We had pool, go to the pool, to the gym. to the park, or they was always having something at the park.
Yeah, the community
You
centers
see
were more active.
Right, more active. And, you know, it was a neighborhood thing. This neighborhood did this. It wasn't all this violence. And then these drugs, that's the opportunity. Believe it or not, when these crimes happen, most of the people are on drugs, you know, or in a gang.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like, as far as Memphis being involved, like Shelley said, it's all around the United States. But by Memphis being so popular with the blues and all these churches we have coming here, they're gonna put us out there. You know, like shootings that's in Cordova, the massive shooting over in Arkansas. You know, it's got to be something big in order for us to get listed on the CNN. And like every time you turn around, we always listed in something. Now the good stuff, basketball, yeah, we listed in there too. So you know, the good will come with the bad. Bad will come with the good.
I think the bad outweighs the good. And as far as newsworthy, because you turn on the news every single day, every single morning, and yes, it's somebody shot, somebody killed, somebody robbed. It's just, I don't know.
I think you have to make a distinction between violence and crime.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two separate things.
Mm-hmm.
Violence we got a plenty of.
Mm-hmm.
I can be in my bedroom and hear gunshots
Yeah.
every night without fail.
Mm.
But that's not crime.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I would say about, well, no, let me backtrack.
Mm-hmm.
It's not property crime. It's fatalities and such as that, and that's a very separate thing from crime.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy kind of statement, but I hope you're getting the gist of what I'm saying.
No,
So are you
it's
saying
like-
crime against persons or possessions versus the altercations between individuals? Okay.
Violence.
So what you're experiencing in your communities, what are you seeing? Are you seeing more violence? Or are you seeing more crime?
Well, I don't put myself in any opportunity to
To
be a
be-
part of any of it. But what I'm hearing
Okay.
is more violence because I hear
Okay.
gunshots every night
Okay.
without fail. And then, you know, you hate to become so blasé about it because when I hear it now, it's like, ooh, those are some big guns. You know, that was pretty close. It's that kind of stuff in my mind. I'm tired of it. Wow. You know, this is kind of early for that. But, you know, that's my dialogue.
Wake up in the morning.
It's not that it's so unusual. I
Right.
hear it every day.
Right.
But it's just how close, how big, how many, so many shots, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So what I'm hearing is violence is a bigger issue in our community than perhaps the crime.
To me.
And, well, yes, so from your perspective, so how do we solve this? What are your thoughts on how do we solve this issue of violence within the communities? So that you feel safe, or do you feel safe in a community where there's so much violence? Or does it affect your ability to feel safe?
I feel safe because I use common sense. I'm an older lady. After a certain time, I've got no reason to be going anywhere to get anything. Anything I want can wait till the next day. I'm not going to place myself in a position for somebody to have the opportunity to pop me in the head.
To rob you.
Right.
Yes.
I'm just
Okay.
not doing that. So, in that sense, violence doesn't affect me because I use good common sense.
Right.
To the point that when I'm out in my community late at night, and this is what I love about Orange Mound, people ask me, what are you doing out?
Yeah, that's
And matter of fact, can I escort you home?
Okay.
That's true.
And I love that about my community. You know, and now I'm mobile and I'm in a car and it's less so than before. But years ago when I'd be walking around, just felt like I wanted a cell phone store and walked up there around 8 or 9. Somebody was going to walk me home.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
All right. So it's about knowing your surroundings, understanding our
Community
operating.
involvement, just
neighborhood.
community. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay.
You just
Build
have to
it.
stay aware and then understand who it is you show up as.
No. And then when that government or whoever did that said let them carry them pistols, I see more pistols now than anything.
That's
like
true.
It's a cell phone. And these are young kids with these big old guns hanging out their belt. Pants already down.
Wow.
You know. But I see more when I see, and then when I do see them, the kids, I try to go the opposite side.
Right.
I don't want to be close to them like this. And you know, the neighborhood stores let them on in the store. You know,
Yeah.
so it's when they did that, they messed up real bad. There's crime got high everywhere.
I think so.
'Cause everybody-
That's a very vast question.
Right.
One thing I like about L's community is their neighbors watch out for each other. Right in that little quad. Nobody can pull up to L's house without Miss Jenny
That's true.
saying something.
So it's like a neighborhood watch.
It's a neighborhood watch. That's one thing. Community involvement is important. Unfortunately, the police are understaffed right now. We all know that because they're doing big recruitment drives every other Saturday
That's true.
to hire police officers.
Right.
But one thing I will say is policemen have to become known to the community. When I was coming through about 20, 25 years ago, Officer Red was known in our community.
Mm-hmm.
He was known. He's a detective now. But the criminals knew him. The shop owners knew him. The community folks knew him. And his reputation preceded him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Working together.
So it's a
It sounds like they were
collaborative
doing
effort.
it
It's a
right.
collaborative
it
effort.
has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be. Parents
Because
can't do it alone.
Parent and the police can't do it alone.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone were to ask you, what do we need to do to make you feel safe in your community given that there's access to guns, and so we have, young people carrying guns, we have gunshots within our community. The community centers, there's an absence of community centers, education levels are low, so that we could go back to neighborhoods where people knew each other, we had community with each other, we supported each other in a way where our behaviors don't require these workarounds. Because what I'm hearing is that, we know that there are kids who have guns. We know that they're shooting at certain times of night. Somebody will walk me home. But is that the type of community? Is that what you want? Or would you say, hey, listen, to our police chief, these are some things that we can implement to make our community safer, to make them more neighborly, or whatever those things that you think, when we think about as children, when we grew up, safe for us to sit on our porches at night.
Well, I remember back in the day, the police used to ride down the streets. I mean, you had your certain crew in this area, and a certain crew in the other area, and it wasn't all that violent. But you can't put a cop on every block or every neighborhood.
Well, the police can't do it alone.
Right.
The police can't do it alone. It's going to take police involvement. It's going to take more family involvement. It's going to take, as I keep going back to education, kids being taught from an early age. It's going to take that mother, grandmother type of love given to these kids young. Because once they get older, it's just